Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today I'm going to be doing another album review, and this one I'm going to be talking about a jazz funk artist who you may know from some songs, but you may not. Grover Washington Jr. I'm going to be talking about him, and I'm going to be talking about his 1975 album Mr. Magic. Now, there's only 4 tracks on this album, and this album has longer tracks, but it's also very short. It's under 40 minutes, which was sort of standard for for a lot of albums in 1975. But I don't really have much to say about this album, just because it is more like jazz music and it's more vibe music, but I will say that this album is really, really good. But without further ado, let's get into it, and we're going to go track by track. So for the first track, it's almost a 13-minute track, which we start Earth Tones. This is probably the most experimental track on the album, which, I mean, all these tracks are sort of a little experimental, but a lot of this stuff is improv because it's jazz, mixed with funk. And so, yeah, the Earth Tones get a lot of interesting, cool sections. You get like a really experimental sections. I really like the birds in the intro. It's really, really cool. Nothing really much to say about this track. It's just a really good vibe track. And yeah, now we're going to talk about Passion Flower, which is the second track. This is a little shit shorter. This is probably the slowest track on the album, though. And I will say that I really like the mellow sort of sounding, saxophone chorus. With the saxophone sort of taking over the melody and then adding the strings in there. It's sort of so jazzy-like. This is probably the jazziest track on the album besides Earth Tones, which I would say the first half of this album's more jazz and the second half is more funk, but it's sort of the same thing. It's jazz funk. I do want to get this album on CD. I don't have that on CD yet. And I forgot to say in the Operation Mindcrime video that I do have Operation Mindcrime on CD. I have the double disc version, which means I have the album, and then I have the Operation Live Crime concert as well. That's on the second disc. But anyway, back to this. Passion Flower, really, really cool track. It's just like peak music. It's slow, but it really, really just fits the whole entire mood. And then we have the title track, Mr. Magic. This is the track that the album is known for. This track is about 10 minutes-ish, and this is probably the funkiest track on the album. With the saxophone in the chorus, and sort of the funky, guitar parts. It really makes for a vibe track. Nothing really much more to say about this track. Because all these tracks are instrumental, so there's no lyrics. But yeah, and then finally we have Black Frost. And Black Frost is another shorter track, clocking in about the same time as Passion Flower. And this is probably a more funky track as well. But I will say that this track probably adds more jazz elements. You get like the big old brass sort of section in the track that's very, very funky sounding. Sort of has the same sort of drumming sort of style as Mr. Magic, the title track. And what a good track. So yeah, that's the only tracks on this album. This album is a vibe. Go check it out if you haven't already. I will link a description I will link a link to the YouTube playlist in the video description of this video, and go check out Grover Washington Jr. and go check out Mr. Magic. With that out of the way, hope you enjoyed this album review. This is very, very short because there wasn't much to say about this album. This is just vibe, sort of jazzy funk music. Has a lot of those music nerdy moments with, tracks like Earth Tones. And then you have more funky, sort of catchier tracks like not Passion Flower, Mr. Magic and Black Frost. So yeah, just a vibe, really good vibe, a short album, but really, really good. So go check it out. And yeah, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.